You'll remove your seat, your box of parts, then you'll remove your steering assembly, and then you'll also remove your rear assembly. This you might want to use a partner to help you. Your box, you'll get 2 spacers, or they may already be assembled. You'll get the toolkit, 4 bolts that may already be assembled, and your kill switch, and another bag of 4 bolts. You also get your owner's manual and a lug nut tightener. You'll also get the dust caps for the tires, stickers, and your back plate. You'll want to grab your 24mm wrench. Remove the nuts off the subframe. Now that that's done, you want to take this nut and bolt assembly out of your steering column. Rise this bar up and slide it in between. It may take some persuasion. Slide the bolt in through one side and put the nut on the other side. And make sure to use an Allen key and a wrench to tighten that down all the way. Roll the front towards the frame. Spacers, your 2 larger nuts and bolts, and your small nuts and bolts. These spacers go inside of the back. Okay, ready? Take your 2 bolts. Make sure you align it. Make sure that the head of the bolt is on the outside with the Allen key and that the nut is on the inside. And you'll take your 2 locking nuts and you'll want to take your Allen key and your wrench and tighten these down very tight. Take your 2 smaller nuts and bolts, and just like on the bottom, put the head of the bolt on the outside and the nut on the inside on both sides. Now that the cart frame is assembled and all the bolts are tightened, you will now put your seat on. On these 2 is where the nuts go, and on these 2 you'll put the bolts through. Now that your seat is now on, all you have to do is wire up your kill switch, which will be in this little baggie. Comes with your kill switch and your wires. You'll remove the nut put it through this little hole. The circle goes on too before the nut, then goes on the spacer, and then the bolt. Then you'll connect the fittings. You'll wire this underneath your seat. Make sure to go over the bar so it's not dragging on the floor. This pin will connect to the motor. And now this pin here, you'll remove this nut from the gas tank and you'll put it on. Now that that's tight, you'll take your handles, and these you're going to run underneath your seat. The hydraulic brake goes on the left side and the throttle goes on the right side. Starting off with the hydraulic brake, you'll go underneath this bar, underneath the seat, through here, tighten these very snug. Now that that is, you'll take your throttle, same as here, under the bar, through here, and up onto the top. Your Allen wrench, you'll tighten this. You'll now take your back plate, loosen the locking nuts, but keep the first nuts on. And these nuts will sit on top of the holes back here, and you can adjust them up or down for how high or low you want the plate to be. Now you'll take your locking nuts, and from the bottom you'll tighten them on. You can now take your sticker decal set and apply it on your go-kart along with your sticker. And that is how you build the sport kart. Starting your Baja kart from scooterx, you'll want to turn your fuel on. This takes unleaded fuel only. Make sure your choke is in the on position too. You'll start it up, give it 30 seconds to run, turn your choke off. If your kart does not start, your kill switch in this position may be off. You might want to check that. If you're pumping your brakes and you're not stopping, make sure your reservoir is completely full. Pump it a couple times if that does not work. Right here is a bleeder screw. Loosen the screw, pump it. Before you let go of the handle, tighten it and then let go. And repeat that and then try that, and it should make your brakes work again. Make sure your throttle cable is hooked up all the way. From the factory, they only go 35 miles an hour. If you want to go 45, back out this screw right here, and your throttle will go even farther. If your kart is idling funny, or idling too high or idling too low, right here is your idle screw. You'll want to open it or close it to help your idle.